supply chain guy, logistics guy in Automotive Forum. I was wondering what I'm doing here. And I just thought that I would put across my thoughts to you of what our understanding of the Indian automotive industry is right now. As we are aware that the industry is going through a lot of flux, and we see that quite hectic as well. And the automotive industry, what we see it is in different parts. Of course, cars is one part, but in India, two-wheelers is also a very major part of the industry. And so is commercial and small commercial vehicles as well. So I want to cover all those parts here. The background which I come with is that I belong to TCI Group, and I'm from the Supply Chain Solutions wing. And we've been around in India for a while. And besides that, we have some understanding of global practices. Besides looking at different logistics parks and warehouses across the globe, we have also done a lot of visits to automotive plants. And I just put together a small footprint. This is a footprint of this which we have done. About 64 plants across the world is what we have visited as part of our study in the last 12 years. This is because India, the way it is emerging and the way it's growing, will skip a few degree of reforms. We got our economic independence about 20 years ago, 91, and the pace of change has been quite fast. The people we work for, our customers here, if you look at the names here, these are all international companies, be it Toyota or General Motors or Volkswagen. They would want to give their customers same quality of car which they give elsewhere in the world, and also the same amount of degree of service as well. So that is a bit challenging for India because the price points are different around here, but also the infrastructure is not as easy as somewhere in the West or Japan or Singapore. But still the quality of service required is similar. So with this background, I will just cover these four sub-verticals: cars, small commercial vehicles, two-wheelers, earth-moving equipment, and of course commercial vehicles. And there is no other industry today where supply chain is more relevant than in automotive. And the reason is that no one actually makes a car. You assemble a car and you have various partners who help you do that. And at the other end, you have got your yards and dealers. Again, there's a partnership. So automotive industry has to grow together and a lot of partnership in that. Otherwise, it's very difficult for it to grow. The challenge in India for finished vehicle logistics is that India, while being very large, it's almost like a continent when you compare it to Europe, has also a myriad of issues with regard to festivals, with regard to different issues across the year. And also the pockets of growth are not all across the country. The west, south and the north have the majority of the growth in terms of production. But consumption is all over the country and they crisscross as well. So that makes the country very complex with regard to finished vehicles distribution. And this is a challenge because today people are not making a car to order. If you look at the assembly line, maybe in Germany of C-Class in single thing, I think the topmost model is 1.5% of total sales. That's the degree of customization which is there. People would want to have a different dashboard, a different steering wheel for their vehicle. Here we are making mostly cars to stock based on colors and other variants. So complexity is not possible because of the different issues of logistics also over here. The inventory carrying cost will be very, very high. We don't have compounds as well. But at the same time, we want to reduce a small journey, how things have evolved. Till 20 years ago, 30 years ago actually, 83, nobody could see a car carry on the road. If you bought an Ambassador or a Fiat or a Standard Herald in those days, it was driven down to your home. It was not actually sent by a car carrier. So car carriers evolved just 30 years ago with the advent of a joint venture between Suzuki and Maruti called Maruti Udyog Limited. And over the years, from using bus chassis as car carriers to going for trailers, it's been not a very long journey. On the other hand, if you see a country like US, which is as large as India, the road network, railways is a lot there in terms of cross-country movement. And India, the railways is still very basic. And what we do use for railways is actually the simple condemned wagons through a rear-end loading. So that's an area where we should develop a lot. And this is one aspect why compounds or big yards near to a consumption area are yet to come up in the country. going forward from this, the most interesting piece which I find about automotive industry is the inbound logistics. Typically, a car would require not less than 1,500 to 2,000 parts to assemble it. This is barring some work which is in-house. The parts coming from vendors is about 1,500 to 2,000 parts. Now, these 2,000 parts, they need to come in a sequence because the assembly line concept has been there for 100 years plus now with the Ford Model T. So, you have to have something called a just-in-time. Otherwise, the entire workforce in the plant would stop because a person who's fitting, let's say, a tire, if he can't fit the tire, the line will not go forward. Line stoppage in automotive world is equivalent to murder. It's that bad. So, what has happened in the country now over the last few years is that the vendor park concept has come in. And I can name quite a few right now. For example, the Hero Honda at Haridwar, a two-wheeler manufacturer. They have their vendor park there, and the closest supplier to them, we do deliveries of 128 times a day, which is less, 16 hours working. It is less than 20 minutes for one delivery. That is because that person makes a part, it's consumed next half an hour. Bajaj Auto Rudrapur, Tata Motors Rudrapur, Sanand plant of Nano. All these are concepts where people want the vendor to be nearby. And he makes some part for them, just fit it right on. So these concepts are also there in India now, which were elsewhere in the world. But at the same time, what we do see as a platform, that we are between the conventional, which is a full load coming in, a vendor management tree, to something in just-in-time. Everybody has not moved there. We work with 14 plants across the country as a single source. Out of that, about 8 are in just-in-time. The rest are vendor management tree. So it's a progress which India has to take going forward, because a lot of modern supply chain here. At the same time, I want to give you an example before I go of world class in India. There is this OEM who does EDI, and the schedule comes to us. We do a dissemination of the schedule. It goes for a pickup. It is scanned in. It goes to the plant just in time, and the service levels are nearly 100%. In terms of line stoppage, it is nil, but we do have 1 or 2 shifts of inventory there. When we say a service level of 99.68%, it means that the window time at supplier was missed by that 0.232%. But they do carry inventory of 1 or 2 shifts, depending on supplier location. So just-in-time concept with EDI, with barcoding, with multiple customers having one cross dock, vehicles being shared, that is a reality in India already. And I think going forward, these are some thoughts I want to leave with you, that going forward in terms of automotive, especially small cars, I think India would be a force to reckon with.